Hey, Frank, you've kind of taken Taco Charlton under your wing, going back to your days at Michigan, and then when he first came here. How happy and how proud of you were you of him to see him make that game-changing play tonight?
Oh man, I was hella proud. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been playing with this dude, knowing this dude for almost 10 years plus, and just seeing him out there making the plays he's making. Remind me of days back when we was younger. When I used to coach him up and tell him different things, and we used to be in practice going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And then just to see him, 6, 7 years later down the road doing what he does and stripping the ball, making big plays to help us win, man. That's all you want to see as one of the older guys in this league.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Frank, I'm just wondering, from your perspective, you guys have said you wanted to be a top 5 defense. You guys are in that category in terms of points allowed so far. Just where would you assess the unit right now, 4 games into the season?
We still trying to get there. As far as that, but we want to go with every category. We want to be more undisputed to what we are, not have, all these different gaps and holes in between. But, the better we continue to just understand and stay humble in our actions, and understand that it's always more work, the better we are as a defense as a whole.
Go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Frank, can you just walk us through that sack you had at the end of the first half?
Man, my teammates, DBs, they just did a heck of a job. They did a heck of a job in the back end. I did my job and just made the play. Simple.
Go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Frank, I'm just curious, what were the last couple of days for you like with, getting the news on Saturday that you had a test and then the game getting postponed, and then just kind of getting out of your routine? And what was the game like for tonight? Was there any, kind of having to get the rust off a little bit from having not been around?
No, not really. You know what I mean? As a football player, you got to always be, conscious in the word change. You never know what's going to happen. Who knew their starting quarterback would be out, after all the preparation we went into this past week. It was a lot of things defensively we had to change, and alter. But at the end of the day, the NFL is the NFL. The backup is the highest paid position, is the most important position next to, being the starting quarterback in the NFL. So, we wasn't going to ease up. We gave them a little bit too much, I feel. And we should have, just kept our foot on their throat a little bit more. But, they had some great plays at the end of that game. I think they broke off a 45 yard run. So, yeah, hats off to those guys for making the plays where, they should have. But we just got to finish more on defense, man. We got to finish better. And thank God we got more season to show that,
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Frank, I just want to go back to Taco for a second. I mean, you guys have this relationship dating back to college. How much was a night like tonight where you both have key sacks in an NFL game? Like, how much was that something that maybe you guys talked about in your college days and, like, really something that you dreamed about?
Man, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it this summer when, Taco ended up getting signed by the Chiefs. It was just something, that's my dog, man. We've been around doing this stuff for a long time now, and just to finally really be out there. I didn't really have a lot of chances to play with Taco, in college because he was so much younger than me, and I was the starter at my position. I believe he was like a 3 then. He didn't even have it there. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, you fast forward and I'm in the NFL as a rookie in 2015, and this man is, about to be a first round pick, so it was kind of one of those like, damn, man, I'm so happy just to the progress he made up until this point, and he's still proving them wrong. And everybody was looking at Taco last year and the years before that, like the man couldn't do his job, or like, he didn't know how to rush the pass, or like, he didn't know how to play the run or whatever. And you see the man making plays. Sometimes these guys just need a chance just to show what they can do. Sometimes it's not them, it can be the system they in, and just anybody, if you know him right now, you ask him how's he feeling being in Kansas City, he'll tell you, man, he's having a blast.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Frank, what's up, man?
Sam, my dog. It's my dog.
You touched on this on a single play basis, but I'm kind of wondering on a big picture thing, the fact that you had so much time to get that sack. There were times last year at the beginning of the year where I feel like you guys knew that you had to get to the quarterback pretty quickly. How different does it feel now? And how much do you credit that to just what the cornerbacks in the secondary are doing?
Man, I got I got the best secondary in football behind me. You know what I mean? We got me, Chris Jones. You got AO. You got some young guys. My boy Turk. You got Mike Pennell just came back. Well, last week he came back, but 2 weeks back. We got Derek Nadi down there. I got my back end. My front seven linebackers. Man, we got some dogs, and everybody just having fun and enjoying each other's company. Last year when we got here, or when I got here and a few other players, basically everybody, it was a new system. Things kind of hit us fast. You know what I mean? Everything, it didn't process as fast as it should. That's why you guys see, how the season went for us towards the beginning of that season. It's a lot of calls we was missing, little key stuff. But, as we went on, as we progressed, you see we got better. You start seeing us playing as more of a unit. You start seeing us having more fun, us celebrating together, us doing things like that actually look like a team defensively. And, just to be out there, like you said, man, I got Tyron back there, man, controlling those guys and, making those guys great. You see Juan coming back, Juan laying the wood on everybody coming across and coming down. He made the play today, a great interception that we needed. And, man, we just having fun out there, like I said, and enjoying each other's company.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Darren and then Harold. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Frank, I'm curious, what you think of the fact that, underneath Spags, you all have been able to, pretty much change the game plan on the fly. And what's the difference between, having to really be coached on the fly against like the Chargers and then, of course, having a 24-hour period? And how important is it for you all, since you all been in Spags system for a year, that you all can make those type of adjustments, which, with the situation that we're in now with this COVID stuff?
I mean, the same way, like, we got to go to practice and we got to learn plays and learn them to a point where we execute them to win that down. You know what I mean? Or win that quarter, win whatever we're trying to do at that point. It's the same way that Spags trust us with being able to readjust. You go through a week of practice, and if you're one of those guys who's not having a good week of practice, and you might be on that burner, you know what I mean? You might not be a guy who's brought up because of the week of practice you had. But if you're one of those guys who had a great week of practice, you're one of those guys that's being brought up, your coaches, trusting that you're going to do your job. So at the end of the day, it's just trusting that, your players, as a defensive coordinator, he got a crazy job, man. He got a hard job, so when, you coach these guys to learn the game plan all week, you say, man, Cam Newton, big, they look like they're getting it rolling over here. They got these plays designed specifically for Cam Newton. He's been running them since Carolina days, and he's great at them. Quarterback keep plays, things kind of change in the red zone. A lot of that stuff changed when we realized he wasn't going to play. But us staying ahead of the curve and us understanding that, like I said earlier, football is football, and in this profession, you got to expect the unexpected. And Spags trusted us, and he looked at us one time in the eye in this meeting this morning and said, "Hey, we can't control none of that. All we can do is go out there and play our style of defense," and that's all we was trusted to do.
We'll go Harold to the last one here. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Frank, you said you're going to put on a show. You certainly put on a show, man. So congrats on the win. My question to you, 4-0 for the fourth straight year. I know you were only here for 2 of it, but just that overall feeling of preparation where it puts him for 4-0 for 4 straight seasons with this franchise.
Man, it's hats off to our coaches and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You got a great foundation. That's where it all starts, is our foundation. When our coaches are doing what they doing, and you got Coach Reed at the top of it, and he's bringing his staff together to help us be who we are. That we can you got to appreciate that sometimes. It's not like that everywhere. You look around the NFL, you got certain teams, certain organizations where they're not as fine-tuned like that. You know what I mean? They don't appreciate, who they playing for. They don't appreciate each other, like I said. You got to appreciate being around each other to, have things like this. Like you say, even when I wasn't here, they still had a team where, the different guys who were on the team in the past, they still had a team where it was like, well, these guys enjoy playing for their coach. These guys enjoy playing for, for one another. And when you got a team like that, man, that's all you can ask for. You know what I mean?
Frank, we appreciate the time today. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks.